Okay, in this video I teach you about radicals, okay? The first part's pretty easy. It says radical 25, there's a 2. It's the same as a square root. So you're figuring out what times itself is 25. Well, 1 wouldn't be 1. It's got to be the same factor. Wouldn't be 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 5 is 25, so this is equal to 5. Now, radical 3 is like a square root, except now you're looking for the same 3 factors to multiply to 125. So you might probably need your calculator. It wouldn't be 1, obviously. 2 would be 8. 3, nope. It's not 4. 5, okay? So this answer is 5, because it'd be 5, 5, 5. So the cubed root of 125 is 5. Okay, the fourth root is 16. All right, so 1, it wouldn't be 1, obviously. Now you'd be looking for the same 4 factors. Boom. Okay, so you got 2. Okay, 8. It's not 1. How about 2? Yep, be 2. Okay, that's pretty much all you're doing on that. Okay, trial error process. Pause the video, go to the assignment, do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we'll move on to the next concept. We'll do a split of the problems. Okay, now the next one's going to seem very pointless, I should say. It says, rewrite in radical form, okay? What you have here is a fraction exponent. What a fraction actually means, it's a radical, it's a root, okay? That's how that's going to be done. Okay, so you got a 1/2 power. It belongs to just the m, okay? So what I do with that is I make a radical, and I'm going to get rid of this 2, because that 2 on the bottom means it's a square root. And inside I just put m to the first, okay? When doing this part, it's a good thing to parenthesize the base that your power belongs to. Now here, the power belongs to everything, so I make a radical, and inside that radical, I put the entire expression 36x, okay? You'd put a 2, and it'd be to the first power. Normally, if you have a first power, just get rid of it and leave it, okay? Any other power we're going to have there, but having a 1's kind of senseless. Okay, put a parenthesis. This time the half belongs to just the x. It does not belong to the 49 like it did the 36, because it would be in a parentheses if it did. So I parenthesize just x, so I make my radical. I just put x inside. It's going to be a 2, and it's x to the first, but we don't need the first. And you're like, what do I do with 49? You just put it before your radical. Okay, this time here, the rational exponent, it's called a rational exponent. That's what a fraction exponent's called. It's called a rational exponent, okay? Here, I should probably write that. A fraction power is known as a rational exponent. So make your radical. Since that's to the entire parentheses, you just put that entire expression inside your radical. Be a cubed root and a first power. You don't have to evaluate or simplify anything. You're just converting it from a rational exponent into a radical, because a rational exponent means a radical. Okay. Okay, this time it must belong to just the x. Okay, if it belonged to the 81 would be in parentheses with the x, so it's just to the x. So I make my radical, I just put the x. It's a fourth root. It would be x to the third, okay? Now, all you do with your 81s, put it in the front, okay? It does not go in the radical because the power didn't belong to that. Okay, power, what's it belong to? Must be just the a, okay? So I eliminate the bottom. I put a inside to the first. You don't need the first, though. And the 20 just goes alongside of it. Okay, this time the rational exponent belongs to the entire expression, okay? So when I make my radical, I put the entire expression 16x. A fourth is your radical. and I put a 3 out there. Okay, there's your rational exponent. It belongs to just the y. So when I make my radical, I just put the y. I don't put the 8 with it, just the y. Okay, so a 3 here, and then a 2 outside, and then the 8 just slips right there. Okay, I know that seems rather pointless, but apparently it has value to somebody. Pause the video, do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Remember, parenthesize your a, that's what it belongs to. That belongs to the whole thing. That whole thing goes into your radical, okay, to just the x and so forth, okay. Okay, now you have a radical, you're going to write it in exponent form. So ignore the 4 and the 3. Ignore the radical, degree, and the power. So your base is x, okay? It's to the third. Now if you want to get rid of the radical, you just put a 4 under it. Now it's x to the 3/4 power. It's like going the opposite direction, okay? Here you have a 3 times an x, okay? They're both to the first power, okay? So I put, but I would need to multiply them both by 4. So 1 times 4, because they're in parentheses. So 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 4 is 4. Now, the radical, if you don't see a number there, you use 2, okay? So you underline those and put 2's, okay? You can circle that, or you could also go 3 to the second, because 4 divided by 2 is 2, and x to the second. But I can live with that too, okay? So 1, 1, similar to how you do the exponents. Write your bases, apply the exponents, and just underline the exponents and put the radical degree, okay? That'd be 3 to the second times x to the second, but at least if you leave it like that, I'll be happy. Okay, this one here, you got 27 times x. 27's to the first. It's not in a parentheses, so it'll be to the first. And x to the second. No multiplying here, okay, like there was here, because there's a parentheses. Underline both your powers and put a 3. And now you have rewritten the expression in exponent form. Okay, my next problem, you got 16 times x, both to the first, but both are in parentheses, so you got to multiply them both by 3. So 3, 3. Now with your radical, you just underline and put a 4. You don't have to evaluate, just put it in that form. Okay, 64 times x, okay? 64 to the first and x second, we don't multiply because there's no parentheses there. Underline both of them and put a 3. Okay, 256 times x. First and a third, we don't have to multiply them. We have to underline them and put a 4. Okay. X times y, 6 and 9, no multiplying, there's no parentheses. Okay. Just underline both and put 3. You can leave it like that, or you can write that as 2 and 3. Doesn't matter to me. Okay. Okay, now right here, you've got 81 times x. No multiplying necessary. See, like with this parentheses, you got to multiply by the outside. But these are not in parentheses, so it's a 1 and a 2, 4, 4. You could circle that, or you could also rewrite that as 1/2, but I'm good with either way. Probably that way. Okay, pause the video, or stop the video, do 12 through 19. Okay.